Okay, I'm
Here we
ready.
go.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you'll never ever leave from beside me, 'cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. Welcome to the Guy and Harley podcast. I'm Guy Pigden.
And I'm Harley Neville. I believe that was Drake.
It was Drake.
Yeah.
It's a new song, In My Feelings.
Yeah.
Now,
The viral sensation that everybody's doing the Kiki challenge.
don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about the Kiki challenge. Where
No.
the fuck's this guy been? Look, man.
Under a rock somewhere?
Well, that's why when you started reading
Working?
that, I was like, that's such a well-known thing at the moment. Because, you know, they go, what they do is they do like a ghost ride in a car. So they get out. You don't have to do this, but this seems to be what people are doing. But the dance is the important bit. Anyway, you do like a ghost ride in a car. You get out of the car, and as it goes, Kiki, do you love me? You do like a heart symbol. And then you do like, are we riding? You do like a riding symbol. And then something else. And it's just sort of a particular type of dance.
After you get out of the car.
Yeah, and then you get back in. But you don't have to do it in the car.
Well, you know, I just wanted to point it out because it's another perfect classic case of Drake and his groupie grooming. It's bloody groupie grooming because on the next verse, it's not Kiki anymore. It's Risha. So it's a girl in every town. You see?
But this is why you're so upset about all this.
I'm not
All of a
upset.
sudden, after 20 years of listening to hip hop about
20 years of hip-hop.
sleazing on women,
Because
suddenly it's a problem.
For starters, like, you know, like when Snoop Dogg did it,
It was funny when Snoop did it.
and it was called Groupie. They had a song called Groupie Love.
Yeah.
There was no illusions about it.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a straightforward, yeah, you're a groupie, we're fucking you. That's cool, right? But now it's like it's all he's just talking, he's in his feelings.
Yeah.
He's in them because of these girls that he's seeing at every town. He's not in his feelings. He's just having sex with all these different girls.
Listen, guy.
Promiscuous.
To that, I would say that the song is obviously deeper than you think it is. What it's really about is the short emotional connections that he has with
Shorter, right?
the many
Very short.
beautiful twinkling lights that his encounters, you know, in this journey through life.
Oh, man,
And he,
you've got your one night stand spiel down pat, don't you? Look, we just do twinkling stars, and for this brief moment, this sparkling encounter that I'll always remember. I'll look up and remember, like you, that bright light that shone, but then was out.
we'll always have this.
We'll always have
Kiki.
this weekend.
We'll always have this memory, Kiki.
We'll always have this. But
This night,
um,
this moment under these stars.
yeah, I also just got this other line here that, and when you get to toppin', I see what you've been learning, and when I take you shopping, you spend it like you earned it. Prostitution.
Yep.
Prostitution.
Yep.
It's all there. It's all just subtly under the surface. Groupie grooming. Drake and his groupie grooming, and he's just making whole songs about it, just getting more and more ass.
Yeah.
And I, for one, I'm just calling him out on it. Drake, I'm calling you out, mate. I see what you're doing. You think your game is subtle. No. It's obvious. So, I just wanted to point it out that, and that does transition into our first topic, however, which, my girlfriend...
Yeah, my girlfriend takes me home when I'm too drunk to drive.
TT is, has gone. She's left these shores. She has been deported. You know, not obviously they didn't kick her out, but she had to leave. Her visa ran out, and now she's working at getting back into the country. So, very tough time, very emotional time, and now I'm getting a whole new window into your life.
My life, yeah.
When you did long distance.
Yeah, I've done long distance on a number of occasions, actually. Not just this latest one.
Yeah, I've done it before as well, but this is the first time in a long time. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is going to be difficult, but you know, there's going to be a lot of nights in the old room.
Yeah.
Pounding away.
Yeah. on the keyboard.
On the keyboard, writing scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Keep myself busy.
Mm-hmm.
Because my girlfriend's not here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would spend that time with her.
Yeah.
Just pounding away.
Mm.
Just like as if my
Day and
life
night.
depended on it.
Yeah.
Just day and morning, noon and night.
Mm-hmm.
No stopping me. Just writing up a storm. Just so much writing, just writing all over the place. I can barely control myself because I got so much writing done without my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just writing like crazy.
Spurts of creativity.
Just
shooting out of you, going all over the keyboard via your pounding fingers.
Fire my hands. Just typing away.
Mm.
And so just shout out to my beautiful girlfriend who I know is now listening because this is the only way she can hear my voice.
Oh, great. So welcome along to the censored version of the Guy and Harley podcast.
Never.
Welcome along, guys. Just fucking sit down, buckle your seat.
Never.
We've got a few months of shit episodes ahead of us. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, how long you got out with Angie for?
5 years.
But how long at least were you doing long distance where she might have been listening to the podcast?
Oh, well, she still listens occasionally. She told me. She hello, Angie. Hola, mi amor. I actually called Angie the other week.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
You did it.
No, I did. I called her.
You bloody did it.
Yeah. I rang her up.
What the hell did you call her for?
Well, actually, I recorded it. I recorded it, so
okay.
I'll play that in right now. So I'll cut this little bit out of there. Hello, Twitch streamers. This bit's just for you.
Yep.
Out of the podcast, I'll cut this out. But obviously there I'm going to put that crying scene.
Please.
Yeah, here I am in the dirt, And I might put a phone crackle over it or something to make it sound a bit phony.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I called Angie the other week.
Wow. That's good to hear that you still have, your self-esteem intact and you're soldiering on like a man.
Yeah. No, it's I'm going well. So you were saying,
how long has it been?
Since she left or since we broke up? So we broke up on May 10th last year.
You're really a stickler for dates. Really know these dates a lot better than I would have imagined.
Here's the thing. I love doing shit like that. Exactly 1 year later, on May 10th is when I handed in my notice for Operation Go Pro. Exactly one year later to the day, because I like doing poetic shit like that. So May 10th, 2017, my dreams of moving to LA get pulled out from under me. May 10th, 2018, I quit my job and chase my dreams anew, but here in New Zealand.
Freelancing for what now?
Don't tell them where it is. I don't like to talk about what stuff I work on, but yes, that is what I'm working on. Thank you, Guy. Amongst other things. But no, I've got a lot of extra time now no more time. I'm actually working more than I was.
It seems you're actually busier.
Yeah, I'm busier. But I'm busier doing stuff that's a bit more fun. There's a bit more variety, and it's a bit more like every day is a little bit different. And because I guess because I'm not on salary, I care more about every dollar too.
Well, this is my first foray. I've let go of another job at my security company.
Yeah.
I haven't been let go. I've let go of a day.
Yeah.
So I'm now only doing 2 days there, and had big plans to do some editing yesterday. I did do some editing. Zero money was involved in the editing that I did. Down $100 and something, $180
because you didn't earn anything yesterday. Yeah, but what did you edit? A wrestling thing.
It was actually a give a little campaign.
Right.
So people can go online. Hopefully, we'll be able to share the link by the time this podcast is up. But it's actually a give. It's for a very good cause. So I'm not complaining about that $180 I lost. That I really needed. I'm definitely not complaining about it. I'm not bothered. But it's a give a little campaign for this guy who's a super wrestling fan called Mitchell Phelps, and he has a type of muscular dystrophy, which means that basically he can only talk and move his hand a little bit at this point. And it's a degenerative disease, so he's progressively getting worse. And they said that he probably wouldn't live past 20. He's 24, and he's such a huge wrestling fan and a super nice guy. Comes to all the IPW shows, and he, his mum thinks that, if it wasn't for wrestling, maybe he wouldn't still be around. But, his passion and love for that keeps him going, and one of his bucket list dreams is to go to WrestleMania. So what we're trying to do is raise $50,000 to get him over to see the next WrestleMania. Now, $50,000 sounds like a lot, but there's a lot involved. Obviously, huge insurance for someone like that.
Yeah.
But also, the problem is that he can only be in the air for like 4 hours at a time.
Right.
So he can't just go to America.
Yeah.
He has to go to all the islands, all the way to Hawaii, and then over to America, and then a bunch of stops. So very involved, very difficult, and going to cost a lot of money. So the Give a Little campaign hopefully will be up soon, and when it is, we'll be able to just put a link on the old thing.
Yeah.
So I was doing a video for that. Not mad about $180 I lost. Definitely not worried about that.
You're a saint.
Not thinking about it. It's not in my mind at all times. That's for sure.
Saint Pigden. That's how they'll remember you. Saint Pigden. He also teaches an autistic guy as well.
I do a lot of good things.
A real community-minded chap.
Yeah,
is our guy.
He's teaching an autistic kid, and he does say some very funny things sometimes. His brain is just wired differently. He works a different way, and so the teacher let him in, and he goes, "Thank you. That's the best thing you've done all day." And we all laughed at that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, "What's the best thing that I've done today?" And he goes, "Drive me here."
Yeah.
The chauffeur part.
Yeah.
Not the teaching, not the tutoring, nothing like that. Just the fact that I've managed to drive him there. He was happy with that. Lovely kid, and actually really enjoying working with him and the challenges involved. So that's been really cool. Yeah.
Now, it is a very sad episode this week of Who's Dead This Week. An icon. A historic figure.
Here we go.
Somebody who changed the world with performances so powerful that you could feel your soul jittering. I am, of course, talking about Jim the Anvil. Rest his soul.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yep.
That's pretty hilarious that you put that in. So Jim the Anvil Neidhart is a relatively famous wrestler from the 80s. Did you know who he was?
Rest his soul.
Did you know who
Big
he
fan.
was?
Big fan.
Did you remember him?
Heart Foundation.
Yeah, I know.
Heart
I know you're reading it off Wikipedia, but do you actually?
Heart Foundation. Rest his soul.
Anyway, yeah, he passed away. He was only sort of 62. He was very young, just maybe a heart attack, stroke, something like that. We don't 100% know. But yeah, R.I.P. to Jim. And if you want to watch any of his classic matches, I suggest going on the WWE Network and checking out the Heart Foundation versus the British Bulldogs. Just type that in and you'll find some amazing matches. He was famous for laughing maniacally and stroking his goatee in matches.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, wrestling is about a lot of different things. It's, on the one hand, it's sort of athletic ability. On the other hand, it's sort of charisma and what you can convey to the fans, and also your character. And you don't have to be good at all of those things to be a great wrestler. In fact, some of the greatest wrestlers are missing a lot of those things. Ultimate Warrior comes to mind. It was just his character. It was the face paint and the running to the ring and the music and the shaking the ropes and the colorful outfits. All that stuff was great. And Jim was probably an example of a guy, his character, he didn't have to do much, but his character was so memorable that you sort of always engage with him. So R.I.P. to him. Thank you for bringing that up, Harley.
No worries.
There's so many people dying. I've just given up on Who's Dead this week.
Yeah.
Because we keep missing, weeks, and then I was like, oh, fuck, that guy's dead now. We've got to talk about him. Well, oh shit, another person's dead. Well, who do we talk about? They're both dead. Who are we going to talk about? They're both dead this week.
Yeah. Well, now
they're all dead this week.
And now that I've taken over editing the podcast, there won't be any heartfelt montages.
No, it's too much work.
Together.
Way too much work.
Yeah. So
way too much work.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've rendered this segment somewhat redundant. Sorry.
No, we still talk and discuss this huge loss.
Yeah.
Now, you'll be happy to hear, Guy, that I had 3 auditions. And I
don't have to put that in anymore.
No, I do.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
This is the reason why you haven't mentioned it. Because you've had an audition every week, but you've never mentioned any more auditions because you didn't want to fucking put this in.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to do that.
You've had so many auditions that you haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
But you had an audition.
I'm just writing down some time codes. Very important.
Yeah, you'll need those. You'll need
those. I need those. Yeah, so I've had several auditions actually. So 2 commercials. Two commercials, and one of them I got a callback on it, which means you go back a second time and do a second audition, and they pay you $50 just for showing up usually, and it means you're on the short list. And so I went back, had a second audition, and it went well, but sadly, I did not get it. Then there was another one where I had to be topless, completely topless, with my hairy back out, and I was like, well, here we go.
Did you take your top off in the audition?
Yeah, of course. I had to. Like it said as before.
Must be.
Yeah, it said you will be audition topless. And so it was time to get this moneymaker out, get this moneymaker shaking, get this hairy back. So did I. I was like, surely, right? Just purely because I'm so hairy.
Had you trimmed recently?
No, I'm at full power.
Too dramatic.
I'm at full power.
Too dramatic.
Well, you can pare it back.
Too
Can't put it on. but it was a comedic ad as well. They sort of were looking for somebody. They suggested like a pasty, scrawny body is what they sort of suggested to show that this person had confidence and didn't care that they were naked type thing. So I was like, well, the hair can do that instead. I can be so hairy but just not care about it. But I mean, it's still possible I could hear something about that maybe, but I'm pretty sure that ship has sailed. But then I've got another audition, right? Well, I did an Australian one as well, but I didn't get that either. But anyway, here's my latest update, right? I got offered an audition for the lead role in an independent film by a filmmaker who shot and released 2 other feature films and made a feature film documentary with the Film Commission, right? And it's a great, juicy, dramatic role, the lead role in this film. And there's only one catch. It's playing a gay man who has passionate kissing and intimate canoodling scenes with a character described as a large tattooed Samoan man. Now, I'd like to make clear that Samoan is not the issue here. It's more the large tattooed man part that I take issue with. And it's like, so do I have, any issue in principle with playing a gay man or the content of the film? I don't. Not at all. But, and here's another good thing. Would it put me, out of my comfort zone and, really challenge me? Yes, it would. And the pay was pretty good. It was 3 weeks' work, but it was pretty good, And, am I worried about, catching gay? Well, no. Am I worried that I might enjoy it too much? No, I am not. I'm comfortable in my sexuality. But just say I did. Just say I did like it. Well, good. Be happy for me, right? Because I've found something that I like.
More options.
Exactly. It's me,
Way
Harley.
more stuff going on.
I'm your mate, and I've found something else that I like. Everybody would be happy for me. That thing I like is, men. But I don't know. Don't know if I'm going to do that one.
You're still humming and hawing.
Well, it's a lot. To be honest, I've been really busy as well, so it's a lot of dialogue to learn. It's quite an intense scene a couple of quite intense scenes for the audition, and some canoodling, I might add.
Some intense canoodling
and some canoodling, and then so I've got to find the time to learn all those lines and really concentrate and do it justice and all that stuff. So to set aside that, I've got to, know that I really want to do it, basically. Like, if they offered me the role, I would do it, for sure. But am I willing to go through the auditioning process, to ultimately be told no anyway? Probably.
I'm surprised at you, Harley.
Why? Because I haven't done it?
I thought you'd be down 1,000,000% for this.
Well, I can see how it'd be good for my career. If I got it. What do the listeners think? Holler at us, guys. Weigh in on this. Should I do it or not? So you're disappointed in me.
Yeah, I'd be kissing that tattooed Samoan man tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Look, I get it in the sense that if you did the audition and you're like, that wasn't my favorite experience.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. So I really didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I really didn't have to make out with that guy and pretend that I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
But, you might get it. And in that case, great. Hi, boys.
I don't think he's a camp.
I know.
I didn't read it as a camp gay guy.
I'm just
but if I walk in there,
that.
if I walk in there and they're like, oh yeah, so it's like super camp, be camp, I'm gonna be fucked because my intention would not be to play it in any way like gay per se.
And that's what
the gayness is my actions, not the way I
the
hold
canoodling.
myself.
It's
the
canoodling.
It's the canoodling and the legitimate love you can see in my eyes when I gaze at that man.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, I guess it's what you would. I mean, just think about this though, Harley. How many girls have had to pretend to like kissing you?
Around 7 or so, if I'm not mistaken. On screen,
yeah.
7 or so on screen kisses.
That'd be really like, God,
that's
do
bullshit.
I have to?
I am a handsome, hunky leading man. I'm sure they didn't mind so much.
I'm sure a few of them were like, God, fuck this shit. In the same way that you are, but they just buckled down and did it.
Like, I'm just going to kiss this fucking short, bald, sifty guy.
I'm just going to do it.
I'm going to have his stubby, sweaty sausage fingers
running through
on my waist or, running through my hair.
Yeah.
But it's just a day's work and I'll get it done.
It's just a day's work. It's just acting.
It's just acting.
So it's just acting. And I guess that at the end of the day, it's just more intense acting. So, like, if you think about acting on a scale...
Yeah. Okay. Go. All right, you finish up. You go.
Well, I was just saying, if you think about acting on a scale, like, a lot of acting is a couple degrees away from you.
Yeah.
Now, this is the most degrees away from you.
Well, it's a few. I mean, he is a religious person as well. The lead character is a super religious person.
Yeah, just throw out all your values and play a religious person. Just shit all over your poems and your principles. Just take a big fucking dump on those for money.
Well, I hadn't really thought about.
It's a cool role.
I hadn't really thought about that.
It's a good role. Pay some money.
To be honest, I hadn't really thought about any of that though, and that also didn't really bother me.
But you weren't at all worried about it.
No
problems there.
No.
But also, there's the thing, like, like I'm being facetious, I'm being silly because at the end of the day, like, if you play a pedophile, which you have played before,
which I have, yeah,
you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah,
and it's the same. Like, this is the
yes, but if I had to pash a child in that pedophile movie,
no,
well, that's a little bit different, isn't it?
I was talking about the religion thing.
Oh, okay, but look, what about this? Like, it's all well and good, but you got to picture the actual reality of it, okay? So if you picture
some serious fucking acting involved,
some serious canoodling, spending, gazing into this person's eyes and, kissing their mouth and having their spit in your mouth and all of that stuff.
Bit of tongue action and so on, and when you think about it, the reality of it really, really, really happening. Making some cool jerking motions.
Well, exactly. It's got to be passionate. Like there is a passionate scene in there where it's a passionate love scene, right? So it's like, now the beer lovers will be fucking loving it. The beer lovers that follow me will be happy about this, I'm assuming. But yeah, I don't know. But I'd do it. If I got offered the role, I'd take it.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to audition to get.
Well, that's the problem. So I'm getting around to it, but I'm just busy. That's the thing. I'm flat out. So it's like I've got to.
A lot of things going on.
I've got to prioritize it. And
zero acting, but I got a lot of things going on.
That's bullshit. I acted in something just the other day for Isaac Newcomb. And
did you?
Yep. Just didn't tell you about it. You're not in the loop.
I'm too busy.
And I also acted in something else for someone else, Zoe, as well. So I've acted in 2 things recently.
Too busy, no time. What did you do for Isaac?
Isaac
is our director of photography on Emmy the Vegan.
I was a parent.
Love that man.
In a sci-fi film. A parent at a park in a sci-fi film with his children and his wife. Yeah.
Get to kiss your wife?
No.
Sadly.
Nobody. There was no kissing on that one.
Canoodling.
No canoodling on that one. But yes, so that's where I'm at, people. So weigh in. What do you think? Should I sort my shit out and go do that audition? I kind of think I should. Don't get me wrong. I think I should. I've just got to prioritize it. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your role. I guess you probably shouldn't say the name of the film or something.
Of the film that I could be auditioning for?
Yeah.
Nah, I won't say the name.
But I just can't wait to see you in that film. Assuming you've got it. Hi, boys. It's me, the preacher. I love it. I'm gonna make a mix of this film. I'm gonna chop it up
of what
doing like different like just looking lovingly at this guy.
At the guy,
and like probably like when you're giving him a cheeky handy or whatever. I'm just gonna literally gonna put that up on Facebook. You just make out and giving him a cheeky handy and just see how that plays out.
Yeah,
this is gonna be brilliant.
Well, we'll see how that develops. In other news, dear listener, we might be shooting.
We've only got one now.
Yeah.
Realistically,
what? Who's that? The Sifty one.
No, we're just so sporadic. It's whittled down to one. Liam Hegarty stands strong.
Yeah. No, that's not true. Holler to Jason Coombs, Nick Sisladi, Sam from the Chris and Sam podcast. I know you guys are still out there. Angie, Alana, who else we got? Anu, holla at Anu.
Did you say Sam?
From Chris and Sam podcast?
No.
Oh, Sam. Yeah, hello. Sammy J, you know who you are.
Sammy J. Has anyone ever called her Sammy J?
Well, they have now.
Well, you should probably start.
And so, yes, and all the rest of you. So thank you for listening. Now, anyway, we might be shooting a new skit called Not Balding. It is the much anticipated follow-up to Not Wanking, which was the
sensation.
Anticipated follow-up to The Blow-Up Doll, which was the much anticipated follow-up to The Heat and Eat.
Which was the much anticipated follow-up to Disgusting Hairy Man.
True, that is kind of, yeah. I mean, the only difference is that your character or a character doesn't walk in. That's the thing. Like all those, and Disgusting Hairy Man, and all of those other ones. Though it fits the formula of one of us is in a room and the other one walks in, and then there's a monologue and a scene, a big monologue by one of them.
Yeah.
Sort of. So anyway, that could be happening soon. Anything to say about that, guy?
Yeah, we're gonna try using. Look, I'm buying up a lot of gear at the moment. I'm consolidating.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build the empire, the Pigville Empire. Or the Pigden Empire, probably more realistically, to some degree. The freelance empire.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just trying to, because this is the problem. It's been 5 years since we, as Pigville, have brought new gear. Like, both computers, for editing and shit, and cameras for shooting. And in this climate, a lot happens in 5 years. Technology-wise. So we were really, to be honest, we probably left it at about 2 years too long in terms of kind of dragging our feet of investing in new stuff. So this year is one of my goals is to kind of get some new shit. So when I'm asked to do stuff, I've got everything. I got the whole kit and caboodle, and I can just go down there, one man gang, and shoot the shit out of it.
Do a one man gangbang.
Bang it out. The filming. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been one of my goals is to sort of just slowly sort of accumulate gear through the year, and I'm obsessed with Russian lenses now. Vintage Russian lenses from 30 to 50 years ago. And
Cold War era glass.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. The Russians apparently,
it's better
yeah,
because you can.
the Russians knew how to do it, man.
Yeah.
Old Russian glass. So I'm trying to get some Russian lenses, and in fact, I have got some Russian lenses, and we're going to film this on those. No particular reason. We've got other lenses.
Yeah, but just as a test.
But just as a test, just kind of make things look cool.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of vibe I'm feeling at the moment. Not building with Russian lenses.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, it sounds good to me, and I'm sure the listeners will be happy about that because it's not too often that we put out our YouTube skits. They're pretty sporadic lately, so it'd be good to get one of those. It'll probably be a year, 18 months before it's out.
Yeah, so I look forward to that.
so just be happy.
It's in the works.
Just know that it's coming, though. Just know that it's coming.
Pipeline.
It's in the line with Older and Emmy the Vegan and the Harrow short film.
And I should just some updates about Older and Harrow the short film. So
Yeah.
Harrow the short film.
So I assume we did tell the listeners that we're recutting the web series Harrow into a short film format.
Yes, short long film.
Yep. A long short film.
Which can, well, some people theorize may never get played anywhere because it's too long.
Well, I actually see the funny thing is, so it's currently about 25 minutes, right? Which is long.
Yes.
And I checked a website today, for festival submissions. They're like open now for submissions. So I was like, cool, maybe this will be suitable for Harrow. 12 minutes, maximum 12 minutes. I was like, alrighty.
Not going to that one.
Not going to that one then.
It's interesting because I don't feel like there's the thing. Like if we make a shorter version of it, we're essentially doing the thing that we had a problem with.
Yeah.
The problem being that it was too short.
Yeah.
As in, for this sort of, for the characters to be established, to tension to be built, you need to take your time and you need to kind of make it cool. And that was something that we felt was missing from the final version of Harrow was, just some of that had been taken away. And some of that was not, sometimes you kind of cut and you cut and you cut and you just take the heart out of it a little bit. I always feel like you get to a point where you go too far.
Yeah, you've got to keep the heart on.
It's very important to have a heart on at all times.
Heart on.
And that's definitely something I found. I'm really liking this new 25-minute version.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that some of these places don't really have a time limit on.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them don't. Like, I know that there was one Australian short film at Screamfest that was Screamfest LA 2017 was like, honestly, I think it was like more than 40 minutes long. And I'm pretty sure I had to see it twice for some reason. So, because I think I saw it at multiple festivals. I went to another festival and it was there as well. So I ended up seeing it more than once. And God, I tell you what though, like it was fine, but fuck, it was long, And like when you're used to sitting there watching 10-minute films and then there's a 40-minute one, you're like, you better be fucking good.
Well, there's the thing. We're good, so don't worry about that.
I'd just like to shout out to Tonya AKL on the live stream. Hello, and to the podcast, to the 5150 podcast listeners. Remember, we do live stream this on Twitch, so go on Twitch, go twitch.tv/Pigville, or just search Pigville on Twitch, and you'll be able to find us and watch live.
Well, I'm drawn to this because I watched a film. I think it's called An Evening with My Comatose Mother, and it's by a festival director.
Sounds sexy.
Who is actually quite a sexy man. He's a very good-looking man.
I meant the title sounded sexy.
I know. Well, anyway, so he did this, and it sort of did like every fucking festival. And I'm pretty sure in my head, and I'd have to rewatch it again. In my head, it's over 20 minutes. In my head. So if that can do the festivals, then surely Harrow's got a crack.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get into, some festivals. I don't think we'll get into none, but I just don't know if we'll get into the big ones that we kind of want to get into, the big horror ones that we got Zombie Holocaust and No Caller ID into. But, we'll see. We'll see.
To update, I have spoken with the editor. He did not receive my original email. I resent that email.
So he never received your notes.
He didn't. Well, actually, I think he did, and he just didn't look at it.
Right.
But like, as in, they got lost in the stream of his emails, which
Right.
is something that happens with me quite often as
Yeah.
well. Is, someone will send me something, and then they'll just be lost in the stream because I'm getting, 100 emails a day.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but I have made contact back with him. He is working on it as we speak, and I'm hoping that on Saturday or Sunday I will sit down with him and finalize that edit.
Great.
And then we have to get it graded and mixed. But those things I'm sure will be very easy and free.
I'm sure they'll be quick and easy.
Quick, easy, and free. I'm sure those things will not take a long time.
Yeah.
So that's where that's at. And older, I'm just working on a sort of. Are you talking about going too far with an edit?
Well, before we get into older, I'd just like to chime in and say that the editing and color grading and so on for Harrow is not free. And if you would like to help us out, you can on Patreon by going patreon.com/pigville, and you can become a patron. You can give us $1 a month, and we would really, really love that. So yes, this commercial break was brought to you by Harley Neville.
Thank you. So yeah, with the older, I'm just in the process of doing a couple of tweaks. So I had some notes from some people, and feedback has been taken on board, and I'm just again, maybe I took it too far. Reach.
Just gonna reach
give me
down
the old
between
reach
guy's legs and
reach
get the
between
other
my
beer
legs
out.
and crank that.
Should I open this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crank that open. Pull that out.
Yeah.
Crank that open.
It is a nice long 8-incher as well.
It's very solid.
Yeah.
Robust.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just working on that. I have talked with Alana, and she may be listening, and hopefully we'll be getting that to her for the grade. And Envy Studios, who's doing the sound, we had a very productive meeting with them, and they are very generously helping us out there as well. So November, like mid-November, sort of marks the 5-year anniversary of when we started that.
Right.
Kind of hoping to get it done soon now.
Just going to try something on the live stream. I don't have a glass. I've got a large beer.
Yep.
Got an empty
2
beer
cans
can.
of beer.
So 2 large cans of beer. One
Yep.
is empty, one is full. I need half in each. And I don't want to stop the show.
So he's going to try and pour
Over my desk.
with the computer materials. Delicately pour. It's looking good so far. He's pouring half of the beer from can to can. Can to can. And it's looking good so far.
Ooh, a bit of a shake there.
It's a little twitch. I did smell a very strange aroma when I walked into your room today.
Really?
Any comment on that aroma?
That was probably just a fart.
Well, it didn't smell like a fart. It smelled greener.
Green fart.
It smelled a lot greener than a fart would.
A grassy fart. you
Well, I don't know if it was. Well, I guess some might call it grass. But yeah, I've smelled that a few times the last couple times I've popped into your room.
reckon? Nah, I'm pretty sure what you're referring to, mate, is my candles. Now, if you look over there, I've actually got a candle burning
the
right now.
candles are burning.
Yeah.
The incense.
I've got incense and candles. I burn them both in my room.
That's what I was smelling.
Yeah.
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 Not grass.
No. No.
Okay.
So
So yeah, older is progressing. Oldering is coming along, and I'm actually hoping I just got to edit in another flashback, and then we're sort of good to go. Well, actually, we're going to edit another flashback, then I'm going to show it to you, and then you're going to go, man, I'm loving these new flashbacks.
Yeah.
Or you're going to go, man, I really don't know about these flashbacks.
Yeah.
And then I'll question everything and maybe cut some of them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, get that to me and I'll watch it. Now, did I say this? I have a meeting tomorrow. Did I say that on air? I have a meeting tomorrow. Yeah. So I have a meeting tomorrow.
This doesn't feel half full, by the way. But
well, you're welcome to top it up. We'll weigh it up.
oh, that's way heavier.
Ah, all right. I was trying to keep more for me.
Yeah. Well, you did buy them. He's taken all his beer that he bought.
No, so anyway, I've got a meeting tomorrow, and it is about a job at a film festival, maybe organising things. Now, mum's the word at the moment. I can't really say too much about it, but I've got a meeting tomorrow to maybe sort of take on this freelance job, organising events and so on for a festival. So that's quite exciting because that'll be really good networking if I get it. And it'll be good. It'll give me a lot of good skills for my producing, skills and connections for my producing. I would say. I'm sure it's got to be good for me.
This pouring of beer, half and half, was like that scene in Ark of the Covenant when Indiana Jones he wants this relic, right, which is sitting on the thing, but it's got a...
Literally everybody knows the scene.
No, they don't.
Okay, you tell them though.
It's weighted, so if you take it off, you need to put something of equal weight there.
Yeah.
Or it'll set off a million booby traps.
Holy shit, so what does he do?
So he takes a bag of sand and he weighs it up and guesses.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually held the other one.
No.
And then he does
just doing it by eye.
And he does a little swapsy.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's got it.
Yeah.
For like 2 seconds, he's like, nailed it.
Mm.
And then 2 seconds later, the groove goes down, the booby traps are set off, rolling boulder.
Yeah.
There's a rolling boulder in that film. Did you guys know that?
Really? Shit. Yeah.
Brilliant film.
Yeah.
Just watch.
And pouring the beer was like that.
Yeah. I also watched...
because when you
the booby trap is you complaining that I took more than half.
You complained that I took more than half.
But if I was...
Play it back!
But if I was to then take more than half myself, I would set off that booby trap.
Right.
Of your complaints.
Yes. Well, sometimes when you drink too much beer, you do set off a booby trap and find a big boulder chasing you. So don't do that.
This one's not as good.
No. Well, it's a lager instead of a wheat beer. Now, I did listen to the Guy and Will podcast.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Well, my sexist comments, was that...
Well, yeah.
That got me in hot water?
Yeah. So firstly, what the fuck's going on here? I feel like you're both cheating on me.
We actually saw if you were not in.
Oh, right.
So
right.
I knocked on your door.
Oh, okay.
You weren't there.
Right. Well, secondly, I did like the bit where you explained to the listeners who The Rock was. and sort of who Hulk Hogan was as well.
What was I explaining? So I actually literally have zero recollection of what I talked about, apart from the bit where I was really sexist.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad.
Like I remember that vividly.
Well, I was going to get to that soon. So it started off lighthearted enough, though.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll get to that. So I've got multiple bones to pick on this podcast. Okay. So firstly, I like the bit we explained who The Rock was, as if the listeners wouldn't know.
In a wrestling context?
No, they were like, Will was like, so what do you do? You're a wrestler. What do you do? How do you do it? What do you do when you're a wrestler, guy? And you're like, well, I'm like a WWE wrestler. Compared himself to The Rock.
That's
me. He goes, I'm like a WWE wrestler. I guess if you were thinking of what a WWE wrestler is, you might think of, say, Hulk Hogan, or more recently, The Rock is a famous wrestler.
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone knows who the fucking Rock is. Everyone knows who Dwayne Johnson, the biggest wrestler in the fucking world, is.
To be fair, a lot of people don't know he's a wrestler.
Right.
They know he's an actor.
Yeah.
And in fact, I just heard a story about like someone, like, sort of a new fan being like, whoa, I can't believe they got Dwayne Johnson to come back and wrestle.
To start wrestling.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he was a fucking wrestler for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, continue. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so that was good.
Yeah.
Right. Then you talked passionately about how wrestling made you feel and how it was good. There was lots of great moments in this podcast between Will and Guy, and we'll share it. I have already shared it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's got lots of great bits in it. It's just a shame about
the whole.
the one bad bit.
Yeah.
But so anyway, you spoke very passionately about how wrestling made you feel and how it was a great substitute for filmmaking success. It was that quick taste of success that perhaps you hadn't been getting from the filmmaking yet. And it was a welcome diversion and a nice other thing, even though ultimately you are still a filmmaker first and foremost, right? And I'd like to point out that is how I felt about my poetry. Okay, before you shit all over my dreams in the fucking great debate. Okay. So, all right, now here I am.
Brilliant.
I haven't performed since last August.
Well, that's you.
Okay. Hey, how do you think it feels when my best friend is not on board? I wasn't smoking fucking crack. I was doing poetry at the open mic on Tuesdays. Fucking guy can't support me. I can't tell him about it, how exciting it is. Well, I think that now you get what I was chasing and feeling, and that this nice side project, it doesn't take away from the main goal. It supplements it, if anything, and opens you up to new audiences and gives you something new and creative to concentrate on while you're ticking over on the other stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I think
look, that's a good point.
I think formal apologies are required.
Let's not
I think
get
a formal
away,
apology.
But I will say, that's a good point.
The listeners can go back and listen to the Great Debate episode. I don't know what episode it is, but go back to into the archive if you want and see if you can get through the Great Debate where Guy and I have a falling out on air about poetry.
I'll say that's a good point. I'll give you that. It's a valid point. Anything else? Well, let's get into the sexism stuff.
Formal apology. That was a terrible formal apology. Now, I have another bone to pick, which is that women, obviously, should get special funding initiatives because it's harder for a woman to get a chance in this patriarchy. Let's battle the binary, man. We've got to stop empowering the patriarchy. Yeah. And, and nobody is saying that your struggles aren't real. They are saying, however, that your genitals don't make your struggle even harder like they do if you're a woman. And so by offering women-only initiatives, we're simply leveling the playing field a little. Which I am all for. And in my version of the future, right, I'm a utopianist, right? And in my version of the future, it's truly egalitarian. Some people will still fuck it up because people will still be idiots and some people will be better off than others, but everybody will start with the same level playing field. Doesn't matter what color you are, what you believe, what's swinging or not between your legs. It'll be truly egalitarian. And I think that's the way we're going.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. I'm just going to say some more sexist stuff now. I agree that sexism in the workplace is rampant, and we need to curb that. I'm not so convinced that sexism within the New Zealand film industry is rampant. That's just from my, experience as not a woman.
Well, exactly. That's quite important.
So right. But if we are saying that sexism is rampant in the New Zealand film industry, we are essentially saying that the New Zealand Film Commission is sexist. It is sexist in the way that it judges women and men's applications. And I'm not sure that I think they are impartial. I don't think that's necessarily been a problem.
So you're saying that you think the Film Commission is completely impartial and it's not where they're not sexist, so therefore we don't need special initiatives just for women. Because it should just be, if there's 100 initiatives going, it should just be the 100 best filmmakers that gets it, regardless of whether it's women or men, because the Film Commission will be completely unbiased either way.
That's I guess so. And I guess also just to add to that, if we want to make it truly, not sexist, I'd love it if we all submit blindly. No. So there's no gender and there's no names involved.
Yeah,
you literally just read the fucking ideas. You read the scripts. And you go, this is the best idea and this is the best script. I'm not looking, any further. Well, that's a
great idea. I do think that's a great idea. But here's where it falls down: is that to get where you are today is harder for a woman to do. So to reach the level where you're submitting, yeah, it is, because picture in high school, if we were 16-year-old girls trying to make a movie, I feel like that you'd receive more shit from people. And at a certain age, when you're a 35-year-old woman, still making movies and living like in a flatting situation and not like having kids and getting married and these types of things, there's another like pressure that comes in for women only, not for men so much, and so there's things like that all day every day are just slightly harder for a woman, which means that when we reach where we are slightly easier than they do. So I don't see any problem in sort of having initiatives that help get more of them along. And in fact, you're starting to see it, there's more women in the industry now, and it's a good thing. And those women that are there worked really hard to get there, and now we're getting these initiatives to help get other women up there, essentially like, passing the ladder, dropping the ladder down for them, or dropping the rope down for them, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the idea that...
I think, if anything, we could have a separate initiative from the Film Commission that is, like you say, just a blind thing, and it doesn't matter who you are, it's just a submission of ideas. But the problem with that, of course, is that they do need to know who you are, because at the end of the day, they're not going to give you, because the filmmaker behind the idea, we're not talking about scripts, we're talking about filmmaking teams,
Sure.
So they've got to be good. So they've got to know who they are, and inevitably you're going to find out if they're a male or a female.
But then inevitably, are you now saying... Because I guess it just feels like, I'm just not sold on it.
Well, it's bullshit, because there's another factor too, which is the
like, I agree that if
the percentage of these women only initiatives is not big. It's not a big, it's not all of them. It's not every single thing is only for women. There are some initiatives that are just for women.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but the overwhelming majority of them are for everybody, And it's the same thing as like having multi film festivals and stuff like that, It's just offering a way up for people from those communities, in this case, the community of women.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, true impartialness is like, I think the Film Commission should be able to be impartial in their judgments.
Yeah, but they're impartial where they're just giving women another little step up, or any minority, whatever it is that the initiative depends on.
But are women a minority?
They're not a minority. Well, actually, they might be like 0.1 or something. I don't know if that's true, but no, then they're 50-50, I'm pretty sure. But a minority in the sense that they have less power in this patriarchy.
But do they have less power? Like, that's what I'm saying. So then you're saying that New Zealand Film Commission is part of the patriarchy.
Yes, absolutely. I'm saying that. Everything's part of the patriarchy. Our entire world is run by men all over, like...
But that the last, like, there's been 3, like, in my time with the New Zealand Film Commission, the head of the Film Commission has been run by 2 women and 1 man.
You want to know why? Because they're bloody good at fighting the fucking patriarchy, right? It's a good thing. It's because they do initiatives like this, helping women get up there. I'm not
saying they shouldn't have been head of the Film Commission. I'm just saying that...
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm saying the Film Commission is doing a good job of, representing diversity and giving, women a leg up. And as a result, now, you're right. There's been 2 out of 3 have been women. Great. It's working, Now we need to put that out into the wider society. So it's working.
Thing. I think we need to put it out into the wider society. I feel like there's some block here in terms of the creative judgment on the creative versus judgment on male and female. And I think that there's something that still doesn't work in making singular things for either men or women. But obviously, I'm just a sexist asshole, so whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Well, like, there's the thing, like, and I think that, I mean, this is, I guess, pretty much what I said on the other podcast. I guess it's probably just hard for me to, because I'm a guy, so I guess I don't have those problems. So, how can I say? I guess I can't.
Well, you've just got to have some empathy and understanding.
I do, but that's the thing. Like I say, as a whole, I do think this is a problem. I don't think it was or is a problem within the Film Commission before all these initiatives took place. And so,
But of course it was. If you look into the history of New Zealand film and what percentage of directors in New Zealand were male versus female, you're going to see a massive, landslide of males. It's going to be mostly men, more so in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s,
but in the last
90s.
sort of,
but yeah, recently it's changing
but
because of initiatives like this.
But I'm not saying, no, not because of it, but I'm saying maybe in the last 20 years, is that still true? I don't think so.
It's getting better. It's getting better, and it's because of initiatives like this.
I'm not necessarily sure it is, but you also do have to factor in some other things. Like, for instance, if you're compelled to have a family, then filmmaking is going to become much more difficult. If a woman is driven as one of her goals to have a family, then that is going to statistically factor in to however many men and women, because that person drops out of the race essentially for a time, definitely. And so I feel like when we look at these statistics, sometimes we don't factor in those types of things as well. And so these statistics can be a little bit skewed to say, well, there's more men than women applying, but there's also, that's because there's
more women dropping out due to starting families. So again
but the family thing is kind of a choice that you have to make as a just as a person.
But
that will drop you out of your filmmaking, whether you're a guy or a girl.
Sure, and that 9 months or a couple of years will be bad, but we all take off a bit of time, and the fact that women have a lot of domestic responsibility and that men don't take off all that time from their filmmaking, again, is just reflective of the patriarchy. It's not. It's it's only a finite amount of time. 9 months, she's pregnant, but she can still work for 6 months of those 9, Then she has a baby, and say she decides to have, a year off even, that's not that much time. But of course, she gets lumped with all the responsibility of, raising the child and maintaining the house and stuff, in our patriarchy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, Ginny Artemis on the live stream says, "My man on the left, I think you're kind of naive." Now, when you say left, do you mean...
he must be meaning me, obviously.
Yeah, if I look at the stream, it's the guy with the mullet, not the handsome one with the hat. Yeah, well, he probably does mean you.
Yeah, well...
And I think we can all agree that you're a sexist asshole.
I was going to say, look, maybe I am being naive. I just still can't get on board with things being judged people getting a leg up either sex.
Right.
Within the film industry.
And that's you got to forget about what industry
and within
it's got to be
specifically
all
the
industries.
New Zealand film industry.
But it's got to be all industries.
But all industries, that's
how you want it to be.
That's a bit separate.
How it should be. No, it's not.
Well,
it's an industry.
but I mean,
everybody should be.
If one industry is impartial, then does it need extra fixing?
But it's not impartial. It's becoming more impartial because of things like this, initiatives like this. So that's the thing. Now, I believe that, as my final opinion on that, because we don't want to delve into another great debate, that you are on the wrong side of history. You're on the wrong side of this, of the civil fucking movement. What's it called? Civil what? Civil rights movement. You're on the wrong side of it, and that ultimately...
well, that's the thing, though. I'm not on the wrong side of history. I'm on the fucking unemployed side of history. So, I'm literally talking from the perspective of a guy that is not doing jack shit either way, and is hoping that when he submits his thing, it doesn't matter that he is a guy, and it doesn't matter that the person next to him is a girl, and that purely they are being looked at on the strength of their scripts and nothing else. And I'm not sure that is the case anymore.
But it's only... No, but
because we've been sexist the other way prior.
No, we haven't. You're essentially trying to say that we're overcompensating for the previous sexism of previous decades and generations.
Yes, potentially. I guess that is what
I don't think we are. I think we're just leveling the playing field. And there's still a long way to go, and it's still not a level playing field, and we need to give them more initiatives, more women-only opportunities and other minority opportunities. That's what I think.
Well, There you go.
Now, next on the agenda. Yes. Yes. Next on the agenda. Waiting. Have you got anything? I'm looking over my notes here.
Oh yeah, I do have a quick movie review.
Yeah.
Cargo. Came out on Netflix the other day.
I got a good one. Yep.
Fucking terrible. Zombie film. Had to watch it.
Well, zombies are over.
Starring
The zombie bubble burst, my friend.
Bilbo Baggins. Martin Freeman. The Office. So anyway, what I should quickly say about this is I'm pretty sure that this is based on a New Zealand short film. And this New Zealand short film, well, whoever made that must have got paid a shit ton. Because they made a fucking feature film about it. And it don't work as a feature film because it's fucking stupid. But it's essentially about a guy who, a family guy, he's got his baby, gets bitten by a zombie, starts carrying the baby around in a backpack.
I've seen the
cargo.
short. I've seen the short.
That's his cargo. You've seen the short. I've seen the short.
Yeah.
Really pretty sure that is a New Zealand film that's based on. So anyway,
I think you're right.
They made a feature film out of it, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. There's just lots of, it's like, look, stop. You're a zombie. You're gonna become a zombie. So what is your end game? What is your end game here? Just walk around till you turn into a zombie and eat your baby? Do you really? That's your plan for I don't know, over half of this movie? Come on now. So I really don't recommend it. And I also, speaking of zombies, Hot.
Well, I wasn't going to reference it just yet, but Hoff Not Where says hello on the live stream. Hello.
And yeah, so this film is the example of 5 for a coffee.
We just got 5 tokens from Ginny Artemis.
Boy.
Shout out Ginny. Thanks so much. I don't know. I have no idea what 5 of those is worth, but I'm very grateful to have them.
She also asked the question because I said it all should be impartial. Are humans impartial? Well, I guess the answer is no. They're not.
Yeah.
I guess I feel that the creative arts should be should be, and hopefully is one place where we are impartial. But
we're working on it still.
Yeah.
And we're doing it with excellent initiatives for women only. So thank you, Jenny, for those 5 cheers. I really, really, really appreciate it. Makes it all worthwhile. It's been ages since we got a donation on the live stream, so thank you.
But don't watch Cargo on Netflix. Also, another big problem I have with Netflix, taking away the ratings. Can't check out the ratings. Such a corporate move. Such a it's like, guys.
But sometimes I don't watch a movie if it's got a shitty 2.5 star rating instead of 5.
And that's why they've done it.
Yes, but exactly. And the thing is, though, that if I just watch it myself, I might actually enjoy it because sometimes I enjoy movies that other people don't.
I've generally found those Netflix ratings to be relatively accurate.
Right.
Relatively. So, yes, you're going to get the odd anomaly where it's like, oh, no, that was pretty fucking good. But most of the time, Harley is definitely... What's going on here? So what am I reading?
Yeah, don't
distract.
Here's the rules, guy, for the 5150. All right, this is what I'm doing for the.
I've
told you this already.
Don't talk about the feed.
Here's how we're going to handle this, okay? Because what we're doing is we're recording the podcast live. And we're recording the podcast for the 5150 listeners, but we're also live streaming it. And we don't want you 5150 listeners to be like, fucking I'm just listening to these dicks talk about shit I can't see on the fucking Twitch stream. So I was like, what we'll do is we'll just call it listener feedback and we'll just refer to it in between other topics.
My composer friend Mike Newport was going to watch Cargo. I tried my best, my absolute best to talk him out of it.
Yeah.
I was like, don't do it, man. I'm telling you, I'm saving you 2 hours. Whatever you do not do this thing. Well, guess fucking what?
What?
He fucking did it anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, your opinion means
and he
jack
hated
shit.
it.
You, the zombie expert, the man that has seen literally every single fucking zombie film in existence. Your opinion? Not really interested in it. Just going to go ahead and fuck up my life for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he did. And he goes, And then he messaged me the next morning. He goes, I will never question your judgment again. And I was like, yeah, we've all learned a valuable lesson here, Mike.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't watch Cargo. That's my film review.
That's
Do
your
not
film
watch
review.
it. Fucking terrible zombie film. Yeah,
Okay.
I just put it in the
Noted.
backpack, and when I turn into a zombie, I'll be fine.
Well, all right. Noted. So that was the review of the week. Now that the topic is finished, we can say that we've got some listener feedback here. Now, Hoff Notwear says, what's this podcast about? Well, that is an excellent question. This podcast is about love, life, and loss in the pursuit of filmmaking podcast. Sometimes we say, this is a filmmaking podcast.
It's a podcast about our lives.
Yeah, and so it's kind of, we are the creators of a feature film called I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. We've been making movies for 20 years together. We're also besties who live together, and so we do a weekly podcast kind of documenting our harebrained adventures, and so that's what this podcast is about. And yes, so that's what this show is about.
And she also asked, is this Cargo that we're talking about the guy and the baby in the apocalypse? Yeah, it is. Do not watch it.
Okay, so next topic though, it's time we open up the Tinder Files.
Oh.
Because I am single. I am a single man now. And the update is that for a little while there, I was going consistently on a few dates with a young lady. She was very lovely. And ultimately, she was a good-looking lady as well. She was a very good-looking lady. And we went consistently and exclusively on some dates for several months. But it never really took off, and so we sort of ended it amicably. And so now I find myself back on Bumble because ever the gentleman, I of course get off Bumble if I'm dating somebody.
Respect.
And so a gentleman doesn't full penetrative sex until. I'm kidding. That's I don't. That's not what the gentlemen don't do, and that's not what happened. But the thing is that I'm back on Bumble, and so I was sitting at a job recently and minding my business, swiping right with my penis, and I came up with an ad: join 14-day free trial on Bumble. And I'd swiped this thing left a million times, this ad, and it was like 14 days free trial. Try it. Try the the premium mode. So I switched it on, and let me tell you, what it does is it tells you who has swiped you right already. So you turn on the app, and instead of just swiping blindly and hoping to randomly match with somebody, what happens is you have a list of all the people who have already swiped you right, and then you can look through and go, oh, yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, yes, or in my case, yes, 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 yes,
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
And so yes, but yes, I will tell you that overall, they were not the ones that I was swiping right for the most part. But there was, I got to say, there was a lot of traffic all of a sudden, and so I guess being 35 and on Bumble's not so bad. I guess that young women do enjoy emotional maturity and financial security. Who would have thought?
Well,
I mean, sure. Don't get me wrong. They've got to put up with my lack.
I was going to say, do you really fit either of those bills?
Well, not just not really fit either of them, but they've also got to put up with my lackluster thrusting from my semi-soft grandfather dick. But isn't that a small price to pay for all that financial security and emotional maturity?
God. I was with him the other day. Got that grandfather dick.
Saggy, sweaty balls, soft, semi-soft grandfather dick.
So sick of that grandfather dick. That's a good line.
So yeah, that's the Tinder Files for this week.
What do you want? Emotional maturity, financial security, grandfather dick.
How about The lackluster thrusting of a semi-soft grandfather dick.
Good stuff.
Well, it is midnight.
It is.
And I have run out of topics. I've got a very important meeting in the morning for this potential job at a film festival. That's quite exciting. Operation Film Festival. And so I guess we'd better wrap this podcast up.
Yeah. And on that note, I'd just like to say, TT, do you love me? Are you riding? Are you down for me always? 'Cause I want you and I need you beside me. Something along those lines.
That was good.
Shout out to my girlfriend.
Yeah, that was good. Cool. And so, if I'm just going to post a link here. If you would like to support us, you can by buying, for example, an I Survived a Zombie Holocaust DVD direct from the filmmakers. I'm looking your way, Hoff Not Wars. There's a link there that I've just posted, but there's also one down below. And so if you guys would like to donate, you can in our Streamlabs link down below. There's also the DVD of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, which we will sign and personalize just for you. It'll say on it Hoff Not Wear or whatever you want it to say, and we'll send it to you. And every and I also I like to put in one of our famous nude business cards as well. These things are these limited edition nude business cards that we put in the DVD, so you want in on that shit. And so yes, you can do that. I've posted the link, and that would be great. There's also patreon.com/pigville. That's the best one. If you give us $1 a month, that really helps. If we get 2,000 people to give us $1 a month, holy shit, we could actually buy like a decent camera to make this stream look good and so on. So yes, and that's the type of thing that keeps this podcast alive. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
See you later.